boop 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 boop. Boop 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 boop. Doop 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 doop. Boop 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 boop. Boop 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 boop. Da 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 da. Doot 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 doot. Oop. I locked the cat in. Aha. Aha. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. All right. Cat's gone. Cat's gone. Now it's just me. What's up, everybody? How's it going? There we go. Gonna put on the cans. New year, new stuff. I mean, I've had these headphones for a very long time. They're not mine. I think they're my dad's. I think I swiped them. What the heck is that? Alright. Do a little double capo action here. I'm just gonna play some guitar to ease into both the new year and this is my first solo stream back again since I am sort of coming back from paternal leave now. Yeah. Hello. And I see streaming is just about as weird as I remember it being. It's no offense to anybody here who is watching. It's more just that it, like you don't get to see people, you don't get to hear people. They still haven't fixed that. I see. Is what it is, I guess. As it happens, I just performed a concert on Saturday. Nice little virtual concert, which went really well. I was apprehensive about it because I feel like it's still no substitute for the real thing, but it actually went really well. And part of that for me, I think probably the best part of it was that it was on Zoom. It was on Zoom rather than say on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube or something. And so at the end of each song, assuming everybody remembered to unmute, because the hosts, you can't forcibly unmute somebody. As long as you remembered to unmute, I could actually hear applause for the first time in months. So that was very cool. That was a huge thing. If I say one thing today that you take away, it is that performers need applause. We need some kind of recognition, some kind of validation for what it is that we do, which is what makes this so weird. But hello, hey to YouTube, peace to Facebook, and I don't see any comments on the old Gangstagrass.tv yet. So head over there and you can be in the most exclusive room, or just stay wherever you're at. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the congratulations and the good words. So I'm just gonna play guitar, like I said, for an hour or two. My wife has the kid right now, and we just rushed back from our afternoon walk so I could make the 3 p.m. slot. I don't know if this is gonna work out in the future going forward, because she's gonna go back to work, work from home, but still, I'm gonna be doing some pretty serious baby duty unless I figure something else out. So for the time being, I might actually go back to like 9 p.m. Wednesdays, which I guess should be fine with the people in Portland. Maybe not so good with the folks in the UK, unless you're night owls. But all of that is for another day. Work that out later. I'll just the other thing I enjoyed about Saturday's concert was playing into a microphone, wearing the headphones, so I at least could hear myself. So I'll do that today. This is a Jimmy Martin song. Some people drink champagne out under the stars, while others drink wine leaning over a bar. But all that I need, dear, to make me feel fine is to know that your love will forever be mine. I'd give an ocean of diamonds, a world full of flowers, to hold you closely for just a few hours. Hear you whisper softly that you love me too. Would change all my dark clouds to the bluest of blue. Well, I don't need their champagne, and I don't drink be so lonesome till the day that I die. And as long as I live, dear, you'll still hear me cry. Take an ocean of diamonds, a world full of flowers, to hold you closely for just a few hours. Hear you whisper softly that you love me too. Change all my dark clouds to the bluest of blue. Change all my dark clouds to the bluest of blue. Got to get all the notes out of there. What's going on, Linda? How are you doing, Linda? It's good to see you. It's been so long. Linda was at that Saturday concert I was just telling you about. So it's not been that long. Well, so that's a Jimmy Martin song called "Ocean of Diamonds," and I've been singing it. I've been playing it a lot recently for an audience of one or two, I guess, including my wife. And it can work. I've been doing it really, really soft as a lullaby. Turns out a lot of songs can work as lullabies. So I think the important thing is it should be something that, you feel comfortable doing. In general, now that I have a kid, I'm thinking a little bit more about like kid stuff, parenting stuff. So at this opening of the new year, how many of y'all got kids? Anybody got kids? Is anybody a kid? That's the thing with the internet, man. Everybody could be like 13 or something. Oh, you don't like my drink in the way? That's probably a good idea. I should move that. It's my coconut water. Is that better? Yeah, it is better. All right. So there we go. Is the mic stand okay where it's at? I could probably, actually, I can't really move it very much. But yeah, moving the drink is good. I'll figure that out. So what's good, everybody? Anybody got kids? Well, if you do got kids, I have a kid too now. That's cool. That's a thing that's happened. That's a thing that's good that's happened. A lot of bad things have happened, but that's a good thing. So thinking about that, I don't want to say I'm going to like radically restructure how I think about everything in the world. That's probably an overstatement. I don't want to say I'm going to like release an entire album dedicated to my child. People do that. That's fine. I always kind of thought I might end up doing that, but then I worried it would be cliche. So I don't know. I'm just going to try to kind of follow my heart on what to do next, and also take input. We've got a lot of cool people in this band streaming all kinds of cool things, and I've been on break for a while, so I'm kind of coming back, trying to find my place in this nifty group, and so I'm accepting suggestions. If anybody's got any ideas of what kind of stuff you'd like to hear on a Wednesday afternoon / evening, because I'll probably end up doing this at 9. Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I was just doing that song about about drinking, or about not drinking, more accurately. I've been doing that as a lullaby for my kid. Yeah, a lot of country old time songs work for that. It's funny though. So and I know this because I grew up listening to my dad play bluegrass, and I still play with him when we get the chance to get together. Most of the lyrics, I don't want to say they got past me, but like I wasn't very bothered by all this like terrible, like super depressing lyrical content in a lot of these bluegrass songs. And the one song that I drew the line on as a kid, it was only one song. It wasn't like a lot of songs. There was one in particular, and it was called "Ashes of Love." So first of all, right? That's horrifying. You could tell I was an early romantic because I'm listening to this song and I'm just like, that's too much, man. I can't. I would either run into the room screaming, or I would run out of the room screaming and demanding that they stop playing this heartbreaking song. And the words of the chorus were "Ashes of love, cold as ice, cold as ice. You made the debt, I'll pay the price. Our love is gone, there's no doubt. Ashes of love, the flames burned out." And that to me was just like, oh, there isn't even any. There's no coming back from that. That's so brutal. And me as like a sentient 4 or 5 year old, I'm just like, that's the saddest thing I've ever known in my life. This deeply heart-wrenching lyrical content set to, like, let me give you a sense of how it sounded. Oh gosh, this is not a song that I like learned to perform because I felt so bad about it. So if I start uncontrollably weeping because of this like deep unhealed wound from my childhood, you'll understand. But here's basically how the song sounded. Here's like some of the chorus. Ashes of love, cold as ice. You made the debt and I'll pay the price. Our love is gone, there's no doubt. Ashes of love, the flames burn out. So like that's how sad the words are versus this like like fucking most upbeat, peppy sounding music. And that's how it is with bluegrass music, folks. If you're new to this genre, welcome, and boy, you gonna learn today, because that's how it works. That's so many of these songs are they just sound so happy until you pay attention to the words, and then you realize that they are terribly, terribly depressing. And as a good for instance, there is that song, one of the classics. A lot of the great children's songs are country and old time songs. That's a bad key. What am I thinking? Jeez. What? I think my wife usually sings this one. Yeah. Okay, so I'll put it like here-ish, but one of the classic children's songs. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Okay, so that's good so far, right? That's very sweet. Please don't take my sunshine away. So it gets creepy even within the chorus, and then you listen to the verses, and I think we've actually started like amending the verses to like clean them up a little bit. Just, not that they're sordid, but like, it's they're very sad. Like the guys, the other night, dear, I was sleeping. I dreamt I held you in my arms, and then I woke up and I was in prison. Like, definitely don't listen to those words if you want to be happy or go to sleep or not have bad dreams. Like, I'm gonna wake up in prison, like, but it's fine. It's fine. Kids don't hear that stuff, and if they do hear it, they don't necessarily understand it. They're mostly not gonna be like extremely sad. Probably. My kid is like a few months old right now, so I don't have to worry too much about that. But yeah. A number of really classic old chestnuts of children's songs, but a lot of them work. Ooh. Nice. Thank you so much. So having a kid has been good. One of the things that's been good is we make a lot more time for music now, pandemic and stuff aside. But it's a nice regular ritual to do, bedtime lullabies, reading books, taking nice walks outside. We've been eating better too. Got a nice soup and salad lunch here, which, nobody in the comments has said what I'd really like to do is watch you eat soup on camera, so I'm gonna not do that. Just gonna look at it and know that it's there. It's a good soup too. Actually, around when we had our kid, we had I think my brother got us a bunch of soups, a bunch of like frozen, ready to go soups. That really, really hit the spot, and they were super convenient. Pro tip, if you know anybody who's has a kid or is about to have a kid, get them small, just ready to go meals. It's a time saver. It's just very, very considerate. So greetings to UK people. I'm wondering, let's see. God, I've been thinking about the UK so much recently, just with all the time hops between this band and I was just over a year ago now. I think of last year. When I say last year, does everybody know that I mean 2019? Like, still in my head, I'm like, last year, even though that's over a year ago now. It's going to be rounding on 2 years ago. The last time Gangstagrass was in the UK was February of 2019, I think. And so that's almost 2 years ago. And then a few months later, I was over there with Man About a Horse, and that was fun. I was just listening to some old John Hartford stuff. Yeah, you know what? Let me do that. I gotta pull up the lyrics because I'm not supposed to tell you that I'm looking at the lyrics. But I never sang lead on this song, because the guitar player in that band sang lead, so I never learned the words, but the words are great, and so I wanna play you this song. This one, and maybe I'll just go down that rabbit hole a little bit on because honestly, I really miss the UK right now, and I have a lot of great memories from touring over there. Here's a great one from John Hartford. It's called "I'm Still Here." Trains are running towards each other. Shotguns are pointed at my head. Tornado clouds are forming over the crossroads. H-bombs are falling towards my bed, but I'm still here. I'm still here. Now how about that? My city may be falling, but I'm still here. Assassination squad's got their orders. Repossession man is on his way. Landlady's giving me her notice. I'll get pitched out in the trash just any day, but I'm still here. I'm still here, ain't that slick. I may have lost my lunchbox, but I'm still here. Well, the moths ate my shirt and my breeches. They're working on my hat, but I don't care. I haven't had a meal since the fire went out, and all you do is stand around and stare. But I'm still here. I'm still here. How about that? I might not hear you laughing, but I'm still here. That's a lovely little number. I don't know what year. I was just listening to the album. I should have checked. It might have been the 90s, which is a long time ago now. But boy, what a every time we played that song, it was like, that song is relevant to today, and that was like 2 years ago. So here we are now. So I don't know if that one would qualify as a children's lullaby. I suppose it could, right? I mean, anything could. That's the thing. I was talking to some other parents, and we were talking about, food. We were talking about baby food. And the thing about baby food is just food. You don't have to buy it in a special jar from a special place. You give babies food as long as they can physically eat it. Apparently, it'll be fine. I don't know this from experience because my kid doesn't eat food yet. But I'm applying that forward. The analogy is that baby music is music. They have brains capable of at least enjoying stuff. More complex thought than like Baby Shark, which don't knock Baby Shark. Baby Shark won the Washington Nationals the World Series, so that's not nothing. That's a true story. This battered Gerardo Parra every time he got on bass, like Baby Shark was his walk-up music, but also every time he got on bass, he would do like Baby Shark if he got a single, and he would do Mama Shark for a double, and then like Daddy Shark for a triple, and then they won the World Series. So, what's up? I'm from DC originally. Yeah. What's some other good ones from that tour? Well, maybe I'll do something else. Maybe I'll do something else. Oh, no, that's obscure. Never mind. This is the year where I don't just do random obscure things. Well, so I guess about not even a month ago, really, it was like a few weeks ago, we in the bluegrass community lost one of the greatest bluegrass music performers to ever live, to ever play bluegrass, the great Tony Rice. We lost him. He's, known as a guitar player. excellent guitar player, phenomenal, really revolutionized the game. And I say that, and I don't dismiss it, but for me, he really influenced me more as a vocalist, as a singer. And I was about to say there just aren't that many bluegrass baritone singers. Most people are like way up in the high tenor range. And I say that, and of course I was just doing a John Hartford tune. John Hartford was another one of them down there baritones. And he would make a thing out of it. And it was great. It was great. But Tony Rice, just one of the more arresting, sonorous voices. Yeah, he had such a beautiful voice, and he used it really well. Unfortunately, he also had dysphonia for like 20 years, the last 20 years of his life or so, which means that, by the time I was listening to him, he had done most of the recordings that I was listening to, which is something to think about, not to go down that tangent or anything, but just, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I grew up listening to sort of an after image of a time. It's always worth something to me. In general, we talk a lot about people who've passed on, and we should give them that respect, but I always feel like we ought to be talking about them while they're still alive too, it just. And that was something just to sidetrack for a second. That was something that Merle Haggard was talking a lot about, and he actually specifically had a conversation with Sturgill Simpson shortly before the end of Merle's life. And Merle was saying, people in Nashville, I think meaning like sort of the industry, like corporate folks, they don't care about me, they don't respect me, but you watch, as soon as I die, they're gonna turn around. Oh, the late, great Merle Haggard. Oh, tribute this. Oh, celebrate that. And they're going to turn me into a jukebox, and they're going to try to make a lot of money off of my songs and my music and the fact that I died. And, and some of that came true. And Sturgill talked about it, and he was really, he was really pretty upset. Sturgill's been sort of generally upset with the industry, which is certainly something I can empathize with the guy. Sturgill Simpson busked outside of I think it was the CMA Awards. So, cool dude. Anyway, winding all that back, Sturgill, Merle Haggard, talking about people after they pass on versus during their lives. I grew up in the 90s listening to records from largely the 70s and 80s, I guess. And that, that's just that is what it is. You get what you get, and you can't really, it's just strange that for the last 20 years that I've been alive and Tony Rice was alive, I could never really see him perform live, because in addition to the dysphonia that plagued his voice, he also had pretty bad, at least arthritis and maybe some other things in his hands. So the guy wasn't singing and basically playing guitar, and he's one of those people who's so phenomenally good at what he does that if something starts to compromise the quality, you see this with people who get older, who have strokes, who have different things happen. They draw a line. Some of them will just keep going. But other people will draw a line and say, I'm not capable of doing today what I did at my peak. And I mean, it's not it's not just not my best, but it's seriously not good enough to the point where, that person feels like I'm not comfortable. You know what? I'm just going to go out. I'm going to let it go. And, So just for the last 20 years, it's not like I could go to a Tony Rice show, which would have been, so wonderful. Anyway, it's a tough thing. But so Tony Rice wrote songs. I haven't really done kind of the deep dive into Tony Rice's songwriting that I feel like I probably should do. Just to know that. But Tony was really an excellent interpreter of songs. And you can be both. Of course, you can be a songwriter who interprets your own songs really well. Some people are just really good songwriters, not really good performers. And Tony I sometimes I bring a song to a jam, and I'd be like, oh, here's a Tony Rice song, and the guy running the jam would be like, that's not a Tony Rice song. I mean, yeah, you learned it from a Tony Rice record. Tony Rice didn't write that song. Do you know who wrote that song? And I'd be like, oh gosh, I don't know. And he'd be like, it's a Mickey Newbury song, or it's a Norman Blake song, or Leroy Drum, or names of these actual songwriters, which is important. And as a songwriter, that's something that I've started caring more and more about, because okay, sure, it's one thing to know Tony Rice, it's another thing to know who actually wrote the song. I realize I'm mostly lecturing myself here. Anyway, oh shoot, now I don't remember the name of the guy who wrote this song. I built all that up, and I was gonna play a song. No, let me look it up. I'm gonna look it up. I'm not just gonna be like, I don't know, because this is important. People on, it's the internet, it's the internet. Hilo Brown, yeah, he wrote it, right? Is that right? I'm pretty sure Hilo Brown and the Timberliners. I think Hilo Brown wrote it. I wish it was easier to look this stuff up too. Like, it's there, but you kind of have to dig more than you'd think you'd have to. Partially because the internet is just like, they'll, who's it by? Oh, it's by, and then they'll name the performer, which that's not, Anyway, pretty sure I'm crediting this one to Hilo Brown. Great version by Hilo Brown and the Timberliners. One time I was performing this song, and somebody was like, "Oh yeah, you should totally listen to that version. It's got this doo-wop backup vocal." Anyway, very funny. I can't reproduce that because I'm one person. But hello from Turkey. Hey Ashley, here is everybody who's been on here listening to me talk appropriately. This one is called "I've Waited as Long as I Can." I've waited for you and I've always been true, but this waiting no longer I can stand. I asked again last night for your love so divine. I've waited as long as I can. I've waited to hear you say you love me, and long for the day you take my hand. I asked again last night for your love so divine. I've waited as long as I can. Done all I could do, said all I could say. Oh, why can't I make you understand? I wanted you for mine, but I've wasted my time. I've waited as long as I can. I've waited to hear you say you love me, and long for the day you take my hand. I asked again last night for your love so divine. I've waited as long as I can. Now I sit and cry as the tears fall from my eyes, for you have made it plain that I can't win. No one will ever know the pain that I've been through. I've waited as long as I can. I've waited to hear you say you love me, and long for the day you take my hand. I asked again last night for your love so divine. I've waited as long as I can. I asked again last night for your love so divine. I've waited as long as I can. Now the funny thing about that song, right? This other version by Hilo Brown and the Timberliners, it just kicks. And now that I've heard it, unfortunately, and you should listen to it because it's great. I've waited as long as I can. the version that I grew up listening to by Tony Rice, but this other version, High Low Brown, and then the Timberliners, I'm assuming the backup singers come in. So he leads off into that chorus, right? I've waited to hear you say you love me, and they come in, say you love me. Which is not the best part. And long for the day you take my hand. They come in, bubbity bum bum bum. You know, like it's great lead bass walk down. They literally just sing bubbity bum bum bum. How many songs exist where people do that? Not enough songs. It really only the one that I've ever heard that has that particular line in it. Anyway, so that's a song that I learned. It's the first cut off of just a real classic record. The album is called Tony Rice. Very simply, it's called Tony Rice Plays and Sings Bluegrass, which was really the thing, you know. And he did other things. He did many other things. Really an interesting, expansive, sort of progressive, like experimental. You know, he got into jazz and he went in different directions with David Grisman and others. But so much of it. And this is my favorite, you know, musicians, my favorite bluegrass musicians are people who take that exploratory stuff and then bring it back to the classic traditional music, you know, like keeping that stuff in there, not losing your footing or your grounding. That one's good. He has a whole album of Tony Rice singing Gordon Lightfoot. Which, like, you know, I don't need to do Dan Whitener sings Tony Rice sings Gordon Lightfoot, but boy, I mean, it's just hits it so hard. He did a lot of great stuff. He did a lot of great duo albums, which I'm only one person, so I'm not gonna try those. But here's that Mickey Newbury tune that I mentioned. Every time it rains, Lord, I run right to my window. All I do is just wring my hands and moan. Listen to that thunder roll. Can't you hear that lonesome wind blow? Tell me, baby, now why you been gone so long? Tell me, baby, now why you been gone so long? You been gone so long now. Tell me, baby, now why you been gone so long? Wolf is scratching at my door, Lord, Lord, and I can hear that lonesome wind blow. Tell me, baby, now why you been gone so long? Somebody said, this is always a tongue twister. Somebody said they thought they saw you roaring down in Reno with a big old man from San Antonio. They tell me I'm a fool to pine for you, but what do they know? Tell me, baby, now why you been gone so long? Tell me, baby, now why you been gone so long? You been gone so long now. Tell me, baby, now why you been gone so long? Ooh. Wolf is scratching at my door, Lord, Lord, and I can hear that lonesome wind blow. Tell me, baby, now why you been gone so long? The thing I love about a live stream, I know there is an audience, but you know, it makes me feel like, oh, I could play this song for 10 minutes if I wanted to, and just like if there's that one lick. That's the trouble with performing live, is like you never really get to spend the time unless you're one of those jam bands that just stretches it out forever and ever, or you're like James Brown's band. That's the thing I loved about James Brown's band. The thing I loved about James Brown's band is that they just, you know, and any band in that genre, they would just, you know, She's just playing. You just got to keep the vamp going. You're there. You're getting paid. Do your job. You know, there's a song, Muleskin Blues, that I put on a playlist I made a while ago. It's a pretty good playlist. It's called, the name of the playlist is Women of Color in Bluegrass and Old Time Music. Odetta, unquestionably one of those women. She does a great version of the Bill Monroe bluegrass classic Muleskin Blues, and she does it in this kind of guitar shuffle. It's so good. And in the song, there's like one clean loop of her doing this. And oh shoot, I dropped my pick. There's a loop of her doing that. One second. I'm gonna go look for it now. I can't believe I've done this. Anyway, seriously, where did it go? Oh my god. Uh-oh. Well, that a predicament. What was I saying before I dropped my pick and then knocked my coconut water over? Odetta does a really good cover of Muleskin Blues, and I isolated a good. There's my pick. Troublesome little thing. It's like a $35 pick. I'll drink that before I spill it again. This is really great guitar shuffle. The sounds basically like that. And I picked out that loop, and one time, you know, I just looped it, and I was listening to this for like ever. And that's the great thing about recorded music, but it's also the great thing about a really good, hard-working band is just like, they should, you know, I'm gonna sound militaristic when I say this, but you should be able to just do this without dropping your pick like a freaking amateur. And you think about it, it makes sense, because if I'm gonna sit here and just talk at you and just randomly ramble. I saw B.B. King one time. This was his 80th birthday tour. And his band behind him, I mean, it wasn't like this. It was more like, you know, a blues sort of riff. You know, so his band's going on. And B.B. King is just out there. Well, you know what they say about women. Something about women. But, you know, the audience would laugh. But, you know what they say about men. Something. And it was just this, like, this whole story about, like, relationship psychology against this, you know, killer blues vamp. But, like, there was a lot of talking in that show. That's my story. It's not a great story. There's a lot of talking. And there's a lot of really great band vamping underneath it. But it's easier to listen to, you know, with the vamping. So anyway, this is just reminding me of that Odetta version of Muleskin Blues. Good morning, Captain. Only she holds it out for like... Good morning. Good morning, son. Good morning, Captain. Good morning, son. Do you need another mule skinner on your little mule run? I mean, it does kind of stretch out like this a little bit. I wasn't playing that fast a second ago, was I? Yeah, okay. So anyway, I was in the middle of that Mickey Newbury song. Let me get back to that. Oh yeah. And nothing much to do, Lord, so I guess I could get stoned. Let the past paint pictures in my head. Get a fifth of that Thunderbird, Lord, and try to write one of them sad, sad songs. Tell me, baby, now why you been gone so long? Tell me, baby, now why you been gone so long? You been gone so long now. Tell me, baby, now why you been gone so long? Wolf is scratching at my door, Lord, Lord, and I can hear that lonesome wind blow. Tell me, baby, now why you been gone so long? A wolf is scratching at my door, Lord, Lord, and I can hear that lonesome wind blow. Tell me, baby, now why you been gone so long? Yeah, so that was like 3 or 4 different things coming out of my head at once. I still need to clean up that coconut water. I think it's mostly up. I think my backdrop honestly got some of it. It's okay. It's already kind of a dark, stained looking backdrop intentionally. So yeah. We lost Tony Rice, and the bluegrass world will never be the same. Not because he died, but because he lived. Because of what he did. I mean, God, like, there's been such an amazing outpouring of tribute for this guy already, and frankly, there's just so many bluegrass guitarists that have drawn, a lot from what he did. So, like, he's gone, but he's not really gone, which is often what you, I think, what best you can hope for. Yeah, it's a great tune. A lot of great ones. There's a terrific series of videos. If you look up a band such as it was, that was really just referred to as like the Bluegrass All-Stars, and it's led by Tony Rice, but it's Tony Rice, Bela Fleck, Mark O'Connor, Jerry Douglas, I think Mark Schatz on bass, I'm pretty sure, sorry if it's not, Sam Bush, at Merlefest, and from like the 90s, early 90s, and they kick it. There's like Freeborn Man, there's 9 Pound Hammer, there might be some more, and this is like sort of woodwork stuff, like somebody just uploaded it, and now it's there, and it's just like one of the greatest, it's one of the best bluegrass music videos that you could really see. It's Bela, it's like, it's like that late early phase Bela, like right at, he's been doing Newgrass Revival, but you see him going in the direction of Flecktones, and Bela Fleck is another guy like Tony Rice, where the interesting stuff is great. It's very interesting. Bela has been nominated for Grammy Awards in more different categories than like any other musician, I think. So he does all sorts of stuff, but for me, when he brings it back to traditional bluegrass, and he's just a very adept traditional bluegrass player, that's my favorite stuff. That's why I love the band Newgrass Revival so much. Well, there's a lot of reasons why I love Newgrass Revival, which is a band that you should check out. Which is a band you should definitely check out, and I'm just trying to think, like, what's a good, what's a Newgrass Revival song? There's so many that I love that are great, some of which I know the words to, don't necessarily know the guitar part to. What's everybody's favorite Newgrass Revival song? And I'll see if I can pick one out of there. Darn. You know what? I'm probably not going to be able to just like halfway do a Newgrass Revival song, but what a great band. In their later iteration, they were just recently inducted into the Bluegrass Hall of Fame, which kind of surprised me because that organization can be really, really traditional, and these guys kind of pushed the limit. But they totally deserved it. Pat Flynn on guitar, Bela Fleck on banjo, Sam Bush founded the band and carrying it on a mandolin, and then John Cowan on electric bass guitar and these like sick high gospel vocals. Yeah, the whole album. I'm not gonna do the whole album, but yes, dude, I have memories as a child of like bouncing off of furniture, listening to those vinyls. You don't really do it justice with just one person though. Like the whole band, like those arrangements were great arrangements. But I'm not gonna. No, I have too much respect for it to just. But anyway, the stuff that Bela did with that band, absolutely my favorite. Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah. White Freightliner. The songs. And I've got too many like different Freightliner. I've got like I Know You Rider in my head now. What are the lyrics to White Freightliner? Halfway to Houston, people there, they treat you kind. Well, New Mexico ain't bad, Lord. Here they treat you kind. New Mexico ain't bad, Lord. People there that treat you kind. Oh, White Freightliner, won't you steal away my mind? See, but me doing it solo doesn't really give you, I mean, this is like some old and in the way stuff. The song itself, it's what they did with the song. It's what they did with the song. It's what they did. Okay, great example, like the old Bill Monroe waltz, Good Woman's Love, which I learned from Newgrass Revival, and their version. Oh man, their version really puts some stuff on it. But again, just like doing it, I'm not gonna do it justice. Go listen to Newgrass Revival. Just put Newgrass Revival on shuffle. You're gonna find some stuff. In the middle of the night. I mean, there's some hard bops. I didn't appreciate the hard bops when I was a kid. I'll tell you this. I appreciated some like Do What You Gotta Do, some just like, some like really fast groovy stuff. But then you grow older and you start to appreciate the midnight. That stuff is it's got that Hall & Oates, it's got stuff in it. No, of course it's impossible. I'll just talk about some other stuff that I like. What else is good? What's good with you? It's the top of the hour, just about. Everybody say, I feel like I should have a prompt. Like, all right, this is in front of me. I have the final seasons, all of what seasons are in here? Just a bunch of 3 seasons, the last 3 seasons of Adventure Time. I have here. You can tell it's shiny because it's in plastic wrap. It's in plastic wrap because I haven't had time to open it up. And I'm really looking forward to finally getting to that. We watched all the way through 6 seasons and 7 seasons, and then didn't have the last ones, and then got them. Is anybody out there, whether you have a kid or not? Because I've been watching animated shows my whole life, and I only had a kid recently. So, what is everyone's favorite animated show? Not favorite ever, but just that you're watching, that you've seen recently. It could be a new one. It could be a reboot of an old property like Voltron or She-Ra, or I feel like there's been a lot of reboots of old like cartoons from the 80s. So what's everybody watching? Let's see if they have. Let's see if they have like a theme song that I. This is so late. This is so behind the times. But I was just thinking the other day about, this is a couple years ago now, but a couple years ago I was on tour. I remember where I was. I was in Knoxville. We were on a tour that's kind of ended in Knoxville. G.I. Joe. So I was on tour in Knoxville with Gangstagrass, and on that tour was the last, I guess, 6 episodes. I think the last season of Game of Thrones came out. It was like 6 episodes, and so I was having to watch them mobile, although it was on in a couple of hotel rooms, so I would catch it there sometimes, or it would like re-air. I would miss it and then catch it later, and I finally watched that final episode, and then went right into that Chernobyl like docudrama miniseries, which was a good move for them to do it that way. And that was actually, I enjoyed that show. That was pretty cool. So this is, boy, here's an old reference. Shoot. Anyway, I love that. Oh yeah, sure, share, especially share like right now, and be like, you guys, the banjo player from Gangstagrass is playing guitar versions of Game of Horse, and it's Game of Horse. Sorry, your username is Quiet Horse. The Game of Thrones theme on guitar, it's sort of bluegrass, but it's the Gangstagrass. Anyway, so for those of you, it is the top of the hour. Those of you just joining me, my name's Danjo. I usually play banjo in this band. I also play guitar, play a bunch of instruments. And if you haven't seen me in a while, it's because I have been on parental leave. And now I'm back to this work. We are not on the road yet, though. So we're not doing, sort of the main thing, the thing that I do. But this is actually a sort of an easier re-entry anyway than like leaving the house for 3 weeks. Bye, honey. I'm gonna go on tour now. Which, hey, people do it. Eventually, I'm sure I will do it. But I don't have to do it now. So that's kind of a silver lining, I think. yeah, we got some Teen Titans. I haven't watched enough Teen Titans. I'm sure you're referring to the animated Teen Titans, and not that newer one. You know, it was wild. That UK tour that I mentioned, we were over in the UK, and I'm looking on Netflix, and I'm like, oh, sweet, there's this new show. Looks like it's a Teen Titans, but it's live action. It's sort of a gritty remake sort of thing, and Robin says some bad things about Batman. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, it really grabs me. So I was like, all right, fine. I'm, in my youth hostel room, I'll give it a shot. I watched a couple episodes. Then I went home. Ooh, Hong Kong Phooey. Oh, that was the one. That was the one. That was a wild show. Oh man, that show would not get made today at all. I don't think. Or it would, and people would be like, how did that get made today? Man, but I watched that show. Greetings from Spain. Man, y'all are all over the place. That's so cool. Definitely we will be coming back to Canada. We were planning to come back to Canada in 2020, but some things happened, and the hope is absolutely to be, I think, extensively coming back to Canada. We had lined up, I think I can say, a bunch more Canada stuff than ever before. So, in a lot of ways, 2020 really sucked. Part of it was going to be one of our busiest years. It was going to be a year where we were going to do like a lot more great stuff. Just like more of the same, more, better, more. Anyway, what was I just... animated shows? Right, so I was in the UK, and I was watching this new Teen Titans show, Titans or whatever it's called. And I was like, cool, all right, awesome. The tour ends. I go home. Guess what happens? I pull up Netflix. Show's not there. And I realized that the show was out. It was out on Netflix, but only in, I guess, the UK and maybe other countries, not in the States. It was region locked. So I don't think I'd ever had that happen before, where I was on my phone, I was watching something on my phone, then I went on a plane, and when I got off the plane, you don't have it anymore. That was wild. So, what is one of your favorite bands? Ooh, well, I just got... How much time did I just spend talking about Newgrass Revival? Like 10 minutes at least. Definitely Newgrass Revival, one of my favorite bands. But, these days, I mean, there's so many great bands, and I don't want to waste airtime by talking about bands that people know. So not everybody knows about the Punch Brothers, and you should certainly look them up. Whole band's great. Whole band's very powerful, and everybody's involved in really, really excellent projects. You most likely know Chris Thiele from a bunch of his stuff. He's been on NPR for a while now, and but everybody in the band in their own right. I mean, so Noam Pikelny is a really one of the best banjo players doing it these days, and let's see, Paul Cowart is involved, I think, in a number of different bands, notably Hawktail with Brittany Haas, Jordan Tice, and Dominic Leslie. Really, really good instrumental bluegrass chamber group, not to be missed. Gabe Witcher actually did music for a Disney Pixar movie, in addition to playing the fiddle. But Chris Eldridge, really, guy to look out for. Look out Chris Eldridge. I just learned that he is involved with a band that his partner Kristen is in, where they work with a child psychologist, and they do, I guess, music for kids. So that's very exciting to me as a new dad. That band is called the Brightsiders. So look them up. So Mickey, I actually grew up. I don't know why I watched Danger Mouse when I was a kid. I think it's because when I was 1 year old, I actually lived in England for a year. But so I watched Danger Mouse. Hold up. 1 second. Prove to you I watched Danger Mouse. All right. What's up? Okay. It's real, and this is the original Danger Mouse. I think they did like a remake thing, but no, this is the real deal. I have a small rack of DVDs here. I will now go through and just pick a few out. Right next to Danger Mouse is Invader Zim complete series. That's a good one. Not animated, but complete Firefly. What else is in here? Ooh, there we go. Some more British stuff. Yeah, my parents got me onto a lot of British. We got the Jeeves and Wooster, which anybody who only knows Hugh Laurie from American roles like House or what was it, Flight of the Phoenix, I think he also played an American. Actually, he was auditioning for House while he was in the bathroom on set at Flight of the Phoenix. But this is just great. Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry, terrific comedy duo. Then I got some. What else is in here? I got my hands on some old, and I assume dubbed. I haven't even got into this, but this is like a really old Studio Ghibli thing, dubbed and subbed. I don't even know what it's called, but I'm gonna put that on the stack with Adventure Time because honestly, I should really get into that. A couple other things. Oh. One more. This is an obscure one that everybody should know about. Okay. This is such weird cover art. I hate when they redo the cover art. It's not really in the style of the original. But The Great Mouse Detective. All right. This was one of the better ones. This was one of the better children's animated movies starring mice, and I watched a bunch of those. Actually, what's that? No, that's Sonic the Hedgehog, the complete series. Technically a hedgehog, not a mouse, but somewhere in there is, I think, The Rescuers Down Under, which is another great children's movie starring mice. Yeah, I mean, Jeeves and Wooster is, and a bit of Fry and Laurie is also great. Same two guys. But yeah, Jeeves and Wooster is silly, definitely. I don't know if I would consistently use the word relaxing, only because it's like this situational comedy about like silly, foppish British upper class people, and they're so ridiculous. And you know, it's all about like this hapless idiot played by Hugh Laurie who gets himself into all these terrible situations, terrible socially embarrassing situations. Like that's the stakes. The stakes are this high, you know. And then Stephen Fry plays his butler, who has to get him out of all these things, and he's like immensely clever and unflappable. But like, if you're the kind of person who, when you feel socially awkward, or someone else feels socially awkward, you then feel bad, I don't know if you would enjoy this show because it's a lot of that sort of thing. So, but it doesn't require brain power. But it is fun to watch Stephen Fry be this, like, it's almost like a Miss Manners meets Sherlock Holmes. It's like, oh, how will I get myself out of this situation? And then you realize like I planted the seed for the strategy that's going to save the day way back at the beginning of the episode. You idiot. It's weird stuff. Very, very good time. Yeah. All right, so let's see. play a little bit more music. Do one about being out of work. Because, you know, musicians are still largely out of work. And this is one that I learned off of the Norman Blake and Tony Rice album entitled Blake and Rice. It's I believe Norman Blake wrote the song. Norman Blake, excellent songwriter, still alive. He sort of had an old voice early, but yeah, he's still doing his thing. Still writing songs about how trains work. This is a good one. It was good one time, everything was mighty fine. The coal tipples roared day and night. Well, things they got slow for no reason that I know, and ill winds they hove into sight. Mines all closed down, everybody laid around. There wasn't very much left to do except stand in that line and get your ration script on time. And woman, I could see it killing you. Now the soft new snows of December lightly fall my cabin round. The last train from Poor Valley is taking brown-haired Becky Richmond bound. Been coming on, I know. Oh, soon you would be gone. Leaving crossed your mind every day. And then you said to me, things are bad back home, you see. I guess I better be on my way. I should hate you now, but I never could somehow. A miner's wife you weren't cut out to be. It wasn't what you thought, just some dreams that you bought when you left home and ran away with me. Now the soft new snows of December lightly fall my cabin round. Becky, Richmond bound. And so the last train from Poor Valley is taking brown-haired Becky, Richmond bound. That's such a great song. Such a great song. There's a lot of little elements in that song that like if you've ever added just enough of a spice, and it's not actually that much, I think that's how you make that song great. You know, it's just like the first line of the chorus could just stand alone, right? It's not a full sentence, but just melodically, the way that it's set, right? You could go right into the next line, right? Now the soft new snows of December lightly fall my cabin around. Okay, fine. Kind of sounds like every other song, right? But what if we just introduce a little pause and just let the first image set in your mind? Just imagine the soft new snows. Just that before we go on, right? So we get, now the soft new snows of December. Just pause, you know? Like pause time. And you can see the snow, right? Snow is just, it's just there, and you immediately like, I remember that. I remember what that is like, December snow. Then it goes on. And it only does that just in that one line of the chorus. That is one of my favorite little elements that makes the song great. The words are great. You know, it's set well. And then it's surprisingly chordy. You know, I did this with a band once, and we actually spent like a good bit of time going through like, okay, it's not just three chords. I mean, a lot of this stuff is just do 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 do. Sure, but then you get to the chorus, right? And there's a lot going on in the chorus. Starting with that right after I stopped there with the walk down, lightly fall my cabin around. So just a little bit of minor six chord, which is, you know, the verse is all straightforward. There's no timing trickery. There's no different weird chords in the verse. Verse is very just clean. You got to say some words, get the words out, telling the story with the words. Then the chorus really brings all this musical stuff in. So for the first time, right after that little pause, of December, lightly fall. So you get up to that highest note in the melody so far, and in the whole song, lightly fall, with that chord, changes to a major 4 chord underneath it. Fall my cabin around. Where are we going to go from here? We're going to go into, and this, by the way, this is what I do, folks. I take songs and I, like a butterfly, I pull them apart and make them not fun anymore. But if you like this sort of thing, I sure do. I really enjoy taking songs and pulling them apart and figuring out what makes them tick. Like the guy from Heroes, and then I can do it too. The villain from Heroes, played by Zachary Quinto. That was a great breakout role, by the way. Guy who ended up playing Spock in the Star Trek movies. That's me. I do that. I do that with music theory, and I can't help it. Like Siler in Heroes. I just can't help taking songs and pulling them apart because I want to know what makes them tick. I really want to know. So I'm going to get through the rest of this analysis and say a few words. And by the way, if you're still sticking with me, thank you for sticking with me. And I encourage you for more great content like this and more great content that is nothing like this, because it's balanced. You should really go, and then I'm going to finish. You should really go over to the Gangstagrass.com website. I would urge each of you to just go and click on it. You don't have to do anything. But you should go now. You should go so that then the browser is like, oh, you've been to the Gangstagrass website. That's cool. You want to go back there again? So anytime you hit G, anything. Gangstagrass.com, check it out. And you should go specifically if you like what I am doing and what we do in general, and you want a way to support us. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to like it on Facebook. Of course, that is something. It's not nothing. But what you really should do is go to the Gangstagrass site and go to this program that we've put together that we like to call Barnstormers. And what that is basically it's our own in-house little crowdfunding platform that we created from scratch. So big ups to us, to the team members who made that possible. It's very cool. It is a very simple system where you give us money through a subscription program, and then we give you cool exclusive content. If that sounds like your particular brand of vodka, have at it. Please, again, visit gangstagrass.com, check out the Barnstormers program, and if you sign up, give it a shot. If you don't like it, tell us how we can make it better, and then we'll make it better. But that's pretty much all of the money that we have, that we make at all right now, is through that program. Just to be transparent about that. But that's not why you should click on it. You should click on it because if you've gone this far with me, you obviously enjoy what we do. So please do consider kicking a couple of bucks our way. We have different tiers, different subscription levels. You get more or less stuff based on that. Try to make it fit everybody's budget. And I think we're actually trying to put together like a pay what you will option. So stay tuned for that. If we don't have that now, and you want it, you could always like sign up at the $5 level and then change it later. But anyway, that's the pitch out of the way. What I was gonna say, Conan the Barbarian. You know what? I would need to go back into it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you bought an album today. Thank you. Thank you. I donate when Ranch dances for it. Well, I'm not gonna dance for it, but I will play music and I will analyze the rest of this chorus. So let's see. Man, getting lost in these comments. Yeah, good question. Do we get more money from the Barnstormers than the donation link on, if you're trying to donate through, I think you can donate through Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch right now. And of course we appreciate all of it, obviously. But the best way, kind of with individual solo artists, it's probably good for me to explain this. So for a solo artist, if you're trying to buy somebody's music, the best thing to do is always go straight to their Bandcamp or some other place where they actually get like 100% of the cut. This is like if you went to a show they were playing and you handed them a $20 bill, like that they get that. And same thing with Bandcamp, and same thing with our Barnstormers program. We get that. That's the part of the reason why we made, really the main reason why we made our own program is because we didn't want to have to deal with like a platform taking a cut. So we appreciate all the other little donation links and stuff, and they're obviously like easy to use. But yeah, if you can check out the Barnstormers thing, that's kind of the biggest perk for us, is that 100% of the money goes to the artist. So we appreciate that. I'm sure you appreciate that if that is where you intend your money to be going. So it's it's really good for that. So I recommend that you do that, because it is, for us it's kind of the best thing. So we got the where was I? Like halfway through, right? I lightly followed my cabin around, and then we get and the last train. Beautiful. Just a sort of gussied up minor 3 chord, sort of a minor 3 / like inverted 1, inverted 1 with a major 7-ish. Yeah. Honestly, probably more just like it's a it's a 1 chord with a where the bass moves up to the 3, and then the 1 moves down to a little major 7, and then those meet in the middle for the next chord. Goes to the 4. Really nice. I don't think I added that stuff. I think that's in the original recording. Again, Tony Rice, and Norman Blake. What can you say? Two excellent giants. So, and again, you have really beautiful chord movement underneath of a held out high melody note, right? So in that previous phrase, you got lightly falls. You get that change in the chord, and in this phrase, similarly, and the last train. So you get under that D note, you get this shifting chord progression. Last train from Poor Valley. At this point, any way you end it is going to be good. Okay? It's already a great song. It's already a great chorus. Let's throw in a surprisingly dense little line to finish it off. Taking brown-haired Becky Richmond bound. Okay? Just fire off 5 chords real quick. You got your, see that? G, E minor, D, C, G. Just run through that. And it's quick, and it also needs to not feel strident, right? You get 1 chord per note. And you gotta kind of, it could easily turn into, I don't know, Green Day. Which is not what this is, obviously. Taking brown-haired Becky Richmond bound. And it's great for a solo performer, too, because you can, or if you're really synced up with an accompanist, which is, by the way, singers that perform with accompanists, boy, when you get that right, there's nothing like that. It's a very cool relationship. Of course, if you're both, it's like less impressive, right? But you still have to line up. Like, it's important for you to sing in time with yourself, because you can control time. You really can dial it in, and just when it's like this, when it's like 1 note per chord, you can keep it up tempo. You can brown hair Becky Richmond down, 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 down. Or you can imbue it with something. Taking brown hair Becky Richmond down. And I stretch that out a little bit for effect, but you see what I mean. Like, do as I say, not as I do. And that's the song. That's the whole song. It's such a beautiful song. And yeah, Norman Blake wrote the song, but Tony Rice did a really great job with it. He did a really great job with a lot of songs, and we're all going to miss him. So I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to miss you. Thank you for coming. Once again, please do check out our website at gangstagrass.com, and examine the Barnstormers program. Again, we built the thing. We can make it pretty much whatever we want, whatever you want. So if it's something, if there's something that you don't see that you would like, you're like, hey, I want to subscribe to this, and I would love for you to, review all the Studio Ghibli movies and rank them. Shoot, I could do that. I probably would anyway, just off the top of my head. Really, Ponyo is, it's very good. It's very good. I think the more well-known ones I don't tend to go for as much. But my point is, of course I could do any of that sort of stuff. We all have a great deal of talents and side interests, and we can sort of make it into whatever you want it to be. But vote with your dollars, vote in the comments, send us a message, and let us know what you'd like us to be doing, because I literally just picked up the guitar and started talking. It is my first day back in a while, so I'll be figuring out what I'm going to be doing on here as well, and don't worry about buying stuff on Amazon. It still goes to us. It just, Amazon always gets their cut. But look, don't, just as a final word, please don't anybody feel bad about anything that you're doing right now to get through, okay? Please don't feel bad. Please don't. Don't waste your time and energy feeling bad because you ordered something from Amazon. Yes, Amazon is bad. Yes, they're bad. They're bad. And I was on the Marvelous Miss Maisel for a scene in one episode, and I know that that's an Amazon show, but they're not going to find me. Look, Amazon is bad, and it's not great. When we can avoid it, always good. There's always things that we could do, I'm sure, to live better lives. But oh my God, have you read the news? It's so wild. It's so wild right now. The world is really, really figuring some stuff out. So please don't feel bad about stuff. Please don't worry. If you buy our album on Amazon, if you paid a guy on the corner for our album, and he ends up giving us 50 cents for it, look, we appreciate it. We're not gonna turn around and be like, oh, thanks for buying it, but you should have gone to our website because our website is better. No, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting us. Do what you need to do to get through these times, and we'll see you on the other side, because we intend to be here on the other side, and I sincerely hope that you are. And take it easy, take care of yourselves. Season 3, episode 2. There's like a hipster party at the original hipsters. It's the episode where it's the 60s for the first time. Check that out. It was great. It was great. And Tony Shalhoub comes in. Abe Weissman comes in to the apartment. He's like, oh no, they snuck a banjo in here. I don't know how. And he turns to me. Tony Shalhoub spoke to me, sort of, and says, this is a banjo-free zone. So I actually, you know what? I might actually entitle my stream that, because honestly, I never really get around to playing banjo when I'm not actively. I play banjo in so many bands all the time. So then when it's like, hey, it's me hanging out, let's play guitar, let's play mandolin. Who wants to play a dinky little accordion or something? So I might, you know what? Oh, I think I might use that. I think I'm going to call this. So watch this space. Probably I'm going to have to move it to evening time unless I figure out childcare. So probably 9 p.m. next week. But banjo free zone in honor of that, because that was pretty cool. Take it easy, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for being active in the comments. It's sort of the next best thing to actually being able to see and hear you, which I hope to be able to do safely very, very soon.